recently, like a year or two ago, found out that the blue macaw actually became extinct from this movie. So today we're gonna talk about Rio. Never saw part two, but that first one, my son used to dance to that beginning scene where everybody's dancing and stuff. And then whenever the birds would start getting caught, he would get caught. It was the cutest. It was the cutest fucking thing in the world. Yo, when you have a kid, pay attention to that shit because pretty soon they're gonna be teenagers and they're not gonna answer your texts and they're gonna be talking to girls and it's cool. And I'm proud of my son and I love him at every age. And I'm glad he's not still doing that shit now that he's 13. But I'm glad it's up here. I wish I would have recorded him. I don't know why I didn't. Anyway, Rio came out in 2011. It was the stories by Carlos Saldana from Blue Sky Studios, 20th Century Fox. Came out March 22nd, 2011 in Lagoa, Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro. And then it came out the next month, April 15th, 2011 in the US. Its budget was $90 million. Bro, that's a lot of money for a movie. That's what I'm thinking about. Now their box office was $484.6 million. So it's definitely a success. No wonder they make part two. It's a 2011 American computer animated musical adventure comedy film. That's all those titles in one. It's a computer animated musical adventure comedy film produced by Blue Sky Studio and 20th Century Fox and directed by Carlos Saldana. The title refers to the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro, where the film is set. The film features the voice of Jesse Eisenberg, Annie Hathaway, Leslie Mann, Rodrigo Santoro, Jermaine Clement, George Lopez, Tracy Morgan, will.i.am, and Jamie Foxx. It tells the story of Blue, a domesticated male Sphinx's macaw who is taken to Rio de Janeiro to mate with a free-spirited female macaw named Jewel, which is played by Anne Hathaway. The two eventually fall in love, and together they have to escape from being smuggled by Nigel. There's a hilarious scene where they try to put them together, where this scientist tries to put them together so they can mate, and they put on music, like jazz music and stuff, and he's all embarrassed because he grows up living with this girl because he was smuggled, and when he was a little baby, he fell out of a truck in Minnesota, and this little girl found him and raised him. So he's very domesticated. And there's like these geese that make fun of him. I think Wanda Sykes plays one of the geese. So Saldana developed his first story concept of Rio in 2005, in which a penguin is washed up in Rio. Then he learned about the production of the films Happy Feet, which came out in 2006, and Surf's Up, which came out in 2007, and changed the concept to involve macaws and their environments in Brazil. In Rio, he proposed his idea to Chris Wedge in 2006, and the project was set up at the Blue Sky. The main voice actors were approached in 2009. During production, the crew visited Rio de Janeiro and also consulted with an expert on macaws at the Bronx Zoo to study their movement. I need to blow my nose. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Ninja Turtles will be right motherfucking back. I wonder if anybody likes ASMR of a nose blowing. Probably. Missed the fucking trash can, man. You missed the fucking trash can, man. Rio premiered, as I said, first in Rio, and then in America. Critics loved it. Box office success, grossing over 143 million in the US and 484 million worldwide. It was nominated for Best Original Song for The Real in Rio at the 84th Academy Awards, but lost to the other nominee, Man or Muppet from the Muppets. Bro, nobody saw the Muppets. Rio one of the best movies for kids that's ever been created. That should have won. So the plot: exotic birds. Oh, sequel Rio 2 was released on April 11th, 2014. Didn't see that one. So some exotic birds are smuggled out of Brazil. In Moose Lake, Minnesota, a crate containing a male Spix's macaw hatchling falls from a truck and is found by a child named Linda Gunderson, who names him Blue. 15 years later, Blue is frequently ridiculed for being unable to fly by the Canada geese that come by Linda's bookstore. Ornithologist Tulio Montero. There's a little piece of mushroom. I ate a mushroom for breakfast. Super Mario Bros. He invites Blue and Linda to Rio for Blue, the last known male of his species, to mate with the last known female. At Tulio's aviary in Rio, Blue meets his prospective mate, the fiercely independent Jewel, who longs to flee back to the wilderness. The macaws are captured by orphan boy Fernando and sulfur-crested cockatoo Nigel, who both work for a smuggler gang led by Marcel, who wants to leave the country quickly to sell Blue and Jewel on the black market. This is a real story, man. This shit really happens. While Fernando has second thoughts, Nigel wants revenge on pretty birds after a parakeet replaced him on a television show. Blue's familiarity with cages let him escape to the jungle with Jewel. Fernando helps Linda and Tulio search for the birds, while Blue and Jewel meet the Toco toucan Rafael, whose bulldog friend, Luis, will remove the leg cuffs holding them together. Rafael tries to teach Blue to fly. They meet red-crested Cardinal Pedro and his yellow canary friend Nico. I think that's Jamie Foxx. Or Will.i.am. And he's cool. He has like this little hat. Nigel coerces it's a hat, but it's a bottle cap. Coerces a horde of marmosets led by Morrow to capture Blue and Jewel. All the monkeys. Looks like little monkeys. I forgot about the monkeys. Pedro and Nico take the macaws to a samba dance party where they begin to fall in love until the marmosets arrive. The 5 birds escape on a tram. So they have like little parties just like the people have parties. At the smuggler's hideout, Fernando, Linda, and Tulio discover the birds are no longer there. Henchmen Armando and Tippo reveal they plan to use the Rio Carnival parade to take the birds to the airport. Blue and the others meet Luis, who breaks the chain, holding Blue and Jewel together. Once released, Jewel flies happily into the sky with the others. Hurt, Blue goes back to look for Linda, but Jewel does not want to leave behind. After a brief argument, they go their separate ways. So she wants him to come to the wilderness, and he's like, I gotta go back home to this person who raised me. I gotta at least say goodbye or say something. When Nigel captures Jewel, Blue and Raphael rush to the carnival to rescue her, as Linda and Tulio pose as dancers in Spix macaw costumes. I don't know why they're called Spixes. It's kind of a derogatory term to my people. But it's spelled S-P-I-X. Not with this. Nigel injures Jewel's wing. Blue sends Nigel into the plane's propellers, and the plane begins to fall. The smugglers jump from the plane while Jewel falls out of the cargo hatch. Jumping out of the plane to rescue her, Blue discovers he can fly. He and Jewel kiss, and he carries her to Linda and Tulio. Linda and Tulio adopt Fernando and live in their jungle sanctuary. Blue and Jewel raise 3 chicks together and celebrate with Rafael, Nico, Pedro, Luis, Linda, and Tulio, who have set up a branch of Blue and Linda, Minnesota's bookstore in Rio. Nigel has survived the plane crash, but Morrow ridicules him for losing his feathers. The smugglers. So the voice cast: Jesse Eisenberg as Blue, who was born in Rio de Janeiro but raised in Moose Lake, Minnesota. Annie Hathaway. She was a macaw from the Amazon jungle but was taken to Rio. Will.i.am is Pedro, a red-crested cardinal. Oh, okay, he's the cardinal, who is Nico's best friend. Jamie Foxx is Nico, a yellow canary who is Pedro's best friend, loves to samba, and whose bottle cap has functions as a tambourine. George Lopez is Raphael, romantic, wise, and energetic Toko Toucan, who is Eva's carnival-loving mate. Tracy Morgan, oh yeah, he's Louise, a bulldog who's Raphael's friend and a chainsaw expert who has a medical condition of drooling. I forgot about that. That's pretty funny. Jermaine Clement as Nigel, a sadistic, sulfur-crested cockatoo who used to be a TV star, was replaced by a parakeet, causing him to have a strong hatred for pretty birds. Leslie Mann is Linda Gunderson, a girl who discovers Blue after he was taken from Rio de Janeiro and moved to Moose Lake and adopted him for 15 years. He's only 15 years old and they're trying to make a mate. Sofia Scarpa Saldana as young Linda Gunderson. I guess that's the daughter of the movie. Rodrigo Santoro as the doctor, a Brazilian ornithologist who befriends Linda. Santoro also voices a soccer announcer. Oh, interesting. Let's see. I don't know any of these other names. Wanda Sykes is Chloe, a goose, who is the sister of another one by Jane Lynch, voices Alice, another goose, Canada goose. Okay, yeah, let's keep going. So as I said earlier, he had the idea in 2005, but then he found out about those two movies with the penguins already. Neil Patrick Harris was supposed to voice Blue, but had other commitments outside production. He was later replaced by Jesse Eisenberg. Eisenberg was asked during the filming of The Social Network if he would do his voice recording on the weekends. And he agreed after reading the script, saying, "It was the perfect antidote to get out of the mindset of my character in Social Network. It was so severe and in some ways so joyless." Interesting. For music, they brought on board Sergio Mendes to act as a music guru and online living library. He in turn was able to reach out to artists such as Will I Am and Carlinos Brown to provide music for the film. Eisenberg and Anne Hathaway, who voiced Jewel, had acted together before when both were still teenagers, when they played siblings in the short-lived 1999 TV show Get Real. Hathaway stated in an interview that she didn't see Eisenberg during production of Rio, except socially throughout the process, but she was happy, very happy for all of his success. So they really even worked together. That's interesting. Rio, music for the motion picture, was released by Interscope. Some Brazilian musicians, some American musicians. There was a music video called Telling the World, which is on YouTube. Positively received. Reached 60 on the Billboard 200 charts. So the world premiere, we talked about that. Since May 2009, it had been rescheduled to be released in the US on April 8th, but in December 2010, it was rescheduled for a week later. The film was also dedicated to the memory of Clymen Campos Saldana. Marketing. In April 2011, Oreo announced its special edition Oreo cookies with blue cream in promotion of the film. That's kind of macabre. The promotion included stickers inside of each package of cookies. 2 types of contests were also announced. By completing the album of stickers, consumers could win 3 movie passes and medium snack bar combos. Second, by finding winning stickers and packages with prizes including a trip to Rio, backpacks, cinema passes for a year in 3D classes. That would have been fucking dope. Promotion ended on May 30th, 2011. It was available in Ecuador, Peru, and Colombia. That's well. Oh yeah, this was pretty tight. On January, because at that time, me and my son also used to play Angry Birds. On January 27, 2011, Rovio Mobile announced a partnership with 20th Century Fox to promote the film. The game Angry Birds Rio was released, and it was pretty cool. Instead of the pigs, you had the monkeys. And instead of or they also included blue as a bird. Uh, Angry Birds Rio was released March of 2011 on the Android market and Apple App Store with 50 levels. Rovio released more levels throughout 2011. With the DVD and Blu-ray release, Rovio and 20th Century announced they were going to start selling Rio plush toys in the Angry Birds online store. Oh, I think Xavier had one. Because we definitely had some Angry Bird plush toys, which I think are now at my dad's house with my little sister. Or we had, I don't know what happened. So we had a lot. It was pretty fucking cool. That would look cool right here too. We had the little orange one, and then when he puffed out, we had the bomb. We had the red one. We had the ice one from Angry Bird Space. When Redbird got some glasses too. That was pretty fun. Yeah, I got to be a kid again with my kid when all that Angry Birds was out. What was cool about Angry Birds is they also had like a Star Wars version of it. And that allowed me to introduce Star Wars to my son, and because of that, he knew the story, and then we got to watch all the movies. So Angry Birds has a special place in my heart. The original ones, not the ones with legs and shit. I never watched that movie. Let's see. So on the DVD and Blu-ray comes with a code for 15 hidden levels, along with 3 Angry Birds Rio videos. Yes, I remember that. And McDonald's also had toys in their Happy Meals. In February of 2011, they gave the film PG rating for mild off-color humor. The producers, displeased by this rating, resubmitted an edited version of the film to the ratings board 1 month later, and the MPAA changed the film to a G rating. Pretty cool. Smart. As a tribute to the country where most of the story is set and where the director was born, Rio was first released for home video in Brazil on both DVD and Blu-ray on July 7, 2011. The North American release date was August 2nd, 2011, and the Australian release date was September. As of June 2014, a total of 12 million Blu-ray and DVD units have been sold worldwide. Yeah, back then, DVD was still popular, and that was just 12 years ago. I mean, a decade ago, like a lot of shit can change in a decade, homeboys. It has 4 different packages. There's a party edition, a 3-disc party. There's a 4-disc party edition, 3-disc party edition. It just has a Blu-ray, DVD, and a digital copy, and 3D Blu-ray, and all that shit you don't really need. The 3-disc combination package also comes with an hour of bonus features. Rio was also made available to Disney Plus on April 16, 21, but has been removed from the service as of December 2nd, 21. However, it still remains in certain regions such as New Zealand as of December 16th, but the film returned to Disney Plus on March 3rd, 23. This year, interesting. Whoa, like a month ago. They had some video games. It came out on the DS, PlayStation 3, Wii, Xbox 360. Never played it. Usually movie games, aren't they? Usually. But I mean, when I was a kid, I had this on the Super Nintendo. I had the Jungle Book game, which was actually pretty cool. You play as Mowgli and you could like throw bananas and shit. It was pretty tight. It's hard. I never got that far. But just turning it on, I mean, I get nostalgia feeling just thinking about getting a Super Nintendo and just playing some games. Let's see, anything else? Whoa, in Brazil, the film's main setting and Saldanha's homeland, Rio was the largest release ever with 1,000 screens. Its opening weekend gross of 8.4 million was the biggest ever for an American film, surpassed 1 year later by Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted, which we also took my son to see. And it didn't hit like Rio. On its second weekend, it earned 7.2, falling from just 14. Made a lot of money. It was the second highest income of the year after the Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn Part 1, which I did not watch. Not as cool as Harry Potter. In Russia and the CIS, the topped the box office with 11 million. This is just talking about money. It was this in Venezuela. It earned 8, second highest all time behind Ice Age 3. Uruguay is the 4th highest grossing film after Titanic, Avatar, and Ice Age 3. In Peru, grossing 3.8, it's the 3rd. I really liked Ice Age 1. I don't even remember the other one. But Ice Age 1 came out when I was a kid. So it has 72% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The straightforward movie hits great heights thanks to its colorful visual palette, catchy music, and funny vocal performances. Very true. Now this hater right here, Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly, gave the film a mixed C rating. He praised the animation in Rio and its music, but later on went to say that the film is a Pixar-level pleasure than a busy, frantic, and overstuffed dessert of a movie. Bullshit. Badass movie, man. I give that shit 5 fucking stars just because it had such an impact on my son and me. And it was good. Very good. We're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. Come right back. That's what I'm talking about. Cowabunga, dude.